You are listening to Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. I am your host, Shanel Scott. I'm a psychic medium and energy healer who has been supporting those on a spiritual journey for over a decade. I'm your tour guide into the world of the unknown, showing you that the magic of the universe is at your fingertips. I believe spirituality is simple and fun, and this podcast will make it easily accessible, giving you the real talk on all things divine and spiritual, helping you to step into the flow. Manifesting your dreams because we all deserve to be living our best life. Are you ready for an adventure? Hey there, Sunshines. Welcome to another episode of Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. My name is Shanel, and I am your host and your spiritual tour guide on this beautiful journey that we call life. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the eclipse that is happening next week. That was the topic of conversation from my spirit guides this morning when we connected to the channeled message for the week, and they really kind of went into the eclipse. So there's been a lot of information that's come in for me, and I thought maybe we could just do a quick recap of some of the stuff that we've heard from my guides, things that have been channeled, things that I've heard, just to kind of get an idea energetically what to expect, and to kind of understand the new energy as well that we're moving into. So first and foremost, I want to start with the new energy is one that we can choose to engage in, embrace, or not, which has been very interesting as this hasn't been the choice in the past. In the past, it's really been this piece that it's like all or nothing. But this time around, it's very different. It is more of, for those that would like to embrace it and up level, it is there for you to attach, connect, be a part of. And for those that are choosing not to, we're not being forced to move into this energy, but there still might be a lot of discomfort. And the beautiful part about that is there's no fighting against it. You just don't do it if you don't want to do it. This really amplifies that energy of flow that we've been stepping into. This is the year of peace. It is the year of more joy, more abundance, more love, more all the things that feel good to us. And so you can flow through it or you can not. And I wouldn't say the not is a fight against it because it's really just a choice. But if you embrace it, the energy flow is just, they keep just showing me, it's just going to be mind-blowing. It's going to be incredible. So that's kind of the new energy that we're moving into. It was really interesting this morning when I channeled the message for the weekly channel. If you haven't listened to it yet, go check it out. It is shadow work or shadow side. It is the weekly channeled message, and it talks a lot about the eclipse. That's what came through. So the idea of the eclipse or the purpose of the eclipse is to amplify this energy that the shadow is kind of, this is the last hurrah of the shadow. Let's put it that way. Not that the shadow side of us and the shadow work side of us is gone. It's always going to exist. But there is this very huge move into a very new energy where there is a lot of pieces of the old belief systems that we're not carrying forward. I've said it time and again that my generation is a generation that has chosen to do generational healing so our children don't have to go through what we've gone through or what our parents have gone through or our grandparents have gone through, the lessons that we've had to learn. We have chosen and we have stepped up to clear and make space for this new generation. For I have been told this new enlightened little beings that will be joining us on this earth. The new children that will be joining us going forward are very much directly from source and carry the light. And there are many light workers who are here to elevate the light for them to be in, to give them more comfort in this new world that they are going to choose to be a part of. There is this abolishing of systems that no longer work. And we are starting to see that. We are starting to see a change in politics, in big business, in even, people demanding that there is equality, that we aren't going to stand for big business being bullies like they've been in the past. And you'll really notice that the ones that embrace their clients and their customers and their customer service and really come from a place of love and gratitude are going to do very differently than those big companies that are merciless and are absolute bullies. You're going to see a shift. I think we're seeing a shift in the school system and how that is approached. There is shifting all over the place that is so necessary to move into this new energy. It's even pieces like things that we used to not talk about, like spirituality, mediumship, ghosts, paranormal, tarot, witchcraft. Like these were all taboo conversations. And we can go back to the witch trials where they were so taboo, people lost their lives for them. And nowadays it's mainstream. Everybody talks about it. Some of us talk about it more than others, and some of us have way more wild conversations than maybe other people do. But it's not forbidden like it once was. There isn't this control of religion, which I feel like religion is maybe the last thing that's going to hold on. But even religion is starting to notice that there has to be a change and it has to evolve to a new place. It is not about control. So the eclipse, this piece that the darkness is going to come, this totality, which some will experience different than others because of where you are in the world. But there is this awareness that the totality and this moment of darkness is to just honor the darkness for one last moment. It is to honor the pieces that we are releasing and letting go completely, moving into the light once again. So it is this a reminder of light to dark to light again, that the darkness is only a moment in time and that the sun will peer through again. The illumination will happen once again, that we are illuminating life going forward. Our lives are meant to be filled with lightness and light. So going forward, it is a big shift. It is about embracing the parts of ourselves that bring us joy and lift us up. It is about really releasing the things of the past. And it's interesting how we can move into a place of detachment. It doesn't mean that we're not emotional about things or don't care about things, but it means that we choose not to feed something with energy that doesn't serve us or that we have no control over. I had a big conversation about control today. It's like, if we don't have control over it, then we have to decide how we deal with that situation. So detaching ourselves from it in a way that doesn't drive us crazy or insane is so important. The shifting and the changing to move into the light. There is an energetics piece of this for sure that is happening. The vibration has risen incrementally over the last 6 months to a year. It feels like around this time last year, it was like ourselves preparing for what was coming this year. And energetically, there is many that have been shifting into this higher vibration for quite some time. So you won't notice that shift quite as drastically. There is the energy of an energetic grid that is beneath the earth that is rising to the surface again. And sometimes when I talk about things, it feels like a little craziness, but I felt it. This for me started back in August when I was connecting to the earth and receiving information about how we have to connect and how important it is to connect to the earth. Our ascension isn't into the heavens. Our ascension is down through the energy of the earth. That is the connection that we have to be making, which it seems so backwards, but it is truly the way that this is meant to happen. So the more that we connect to the divine, to source, and to the earth, the more we will begin to feel this energetic lift. So what they shared with me this morning, and they're sharing it with me again, is this piece of light codes and then the grid of the earth. And the grid in the earth is made of light codes or crystalline codes that carry a lot of energy and high vibration. So this grid will be accessible to those that need to access it. In the past, this grid has been accessible to anyone, and it was hidden because it was being misused. Going forward, it's almost like we can think of it as being enchanted, and that those who need to access it will have access to it. Those that will abuse it will not have access to it in the same way. They may feel the vibration, but they will not be able to work with it in the same way that others can who are using it for good, for a higher purpose. I don't have a lot of information on those two things, the light codes and the grid. It is new that came through today. And so I just have kind of the information that I've already had over this. But I promise you over the next week or two, I will definitely do some channeling work and connect into the energy of that. My guides are usually pretty good about sharing what we need to know about it. But I didn't have the calling to do that today. So I feel like what I'm giving you is a lot to begin with, and that I don't want to do a huge deep dive because I don't want you to get all panicky about the energy that's coming up. Yes, the energy is shifting. Yes, it's going to be beautiful and bright. Yes, we need to release the things that are heavy and release the things that are weighing us down. We need to release the things that we no longer want to feed with energy. That is really key and really important to moving forward with these energies of the new earth, of the eclipse, of the light. So really allow yourself this week to open up to what it is you are meant to see and receive. Definitely time outside in the nature and in the sunlight will be really beneficial to this. And you might find you get some downloads while you're out there walking around or just lazing in the sun, because it feels like there's a lot of transmissions coming through to help people ease through into this new energy, to really understand your purpose. I think that's a big part of this eclipse energy as well, is really understanding our purpose and what we are meant to do here. I find it really kind of amusing that I'm starting past life regression training this week. And I know that it's a big part of going forward. It's kind of like the last piece for me, it feels like, in putting together what it is that I really want to do on bigger scale here. So it'll be interesting how this all unfolds and how the eclipse just kind of shifts and adjusts everything for us. So I would love to hear how you're dealing with the eclipse energy and what it's happening for you. I will share, because they're nudging me again, is they did say to not be outside during the eclipse, that the energy is meant to be received indoors. So that doesn't mean you can't stand at a window and watch as long as you have protective eye gear. But they're saying being covered. So even if you're outdoors, if you're underneath an awning or a roof or an overhang, they're just showing me that. I'm not sure what that is. They haven't given me much more than that. It doesn't feel like if you were out in the sun that it's an issue, or driving around, whatever. But they are putting that out there, that they suggest that you experience the eclipse from indoors. So I'm not sure what that's about. So but I'm going to share it with you again because they asked me to. So I'm putting it out there for you. I think that's where I want to stop. I don't want to do too much. I just wanted to give you that little brief update from the channeled message this morning and share a little bit more information, like I said, about what I've kind of been seeing and receiving over the last few weeks about the eclipse. It is a big shift. It is going to be energetically a shift. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, because it's going to be, like I said, different for everybody. Everybody is different in how they receive. So we'll see how it goes. So let me know how it goes for you. As always, if you can energy exchange with me here for the podcast, I'm greatly appreciative. Go follow me on social media. I'm From the Heart and Soul on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. You can leave a review, a comment. You can follow me here on the podcast. I greatly appreciate it. Follow me over on social media. All those things mean the world to me. They only cost you a little bit of time. And I greatly, greatly appreciate it. It helps me so much. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here on this spiritual journey with me and allowing me to be your spiritual tour guide today. Thanks so much from my heart and soul to yours. Until the next time. Bye now.